Passenger boards Flight 743 with trembling hands and a manila envelope containing tomorrow's newspaper, complete with photos of twisted metal and bodies, dated 24 hours from now. He knows what is about to happen because somehow he has already lived through the next day. Before we dive in, what time are you listening? Where are you from? Drop a comment below and tell me. And please, like and subscribe for more videos like this. Asterisk. Marcus Greene walks through Terminal B, carrying nothing but a small leather bag and secrets that weigh heavier than any luggage. The airport buzzes with the usual chaos of Tuesday morning travelers. Businessmen tap frantically on laptops. Families wrangle crying children. Gate agents announce delays with practiced apathy, but Marcus sees none of it. His eyes stay fixed on Gate 17, where Flight 743 to Denver will begin boarding in 40 minutes. He checks his watch. 9:15 a.m. He has seen this moment before, lived it already, died in it too. Asterisk, the manila envelope burns against his chest, tucked inside his jacket. Inside are 12 pages that should not exist. Newspaper clippings with today's date printed at the top. But the stories they tell have not happened yet. Will not happen for another 6 hours. The headline screams in bold black letters. Flight 743 crashes in Colorado mountains. All 137 passengers presumed dead. Below the headline sits a photo that makes his stomach turn. Wreckage scattered across a snow-covered peak. Emergency crews standing helpless in the frozen wasteland. And there, in the corner of the photo, barely visible but unmistakable, a leather bag just like the one he carries now. Asterisk Marcus discovered the envelope 3 days ago. Just appeared on his kitchen table one morning. No return address. No explanation. At first he thought it was some sick joke. Elaborate fake news meant to terrify him before his business trip. But then he noticed the details. The other stories in the paper. A senator announcing her resignation. A factory fire in Ohio. A championship game result. He spent 2 days watching those events unfold exactly as the paper predicted. The senator resigned Monday afternoon. The factory burned Monday night. The basketball game ended with the precise score printed in those impossible pages. Everything happened exactly as written. Everything except the crash. That was scheduled for today. Asterisk, he tried everything to avoid this moment. Called the airline yesterday to cancel his ticket. But his boss insisted. This Denver meeting could not be missed. The Peterson account was worth millions. Marcus was the only one who could close the deal. So he tried warning people, called the FAA tip line. They laughed at him, called airport security. They questioned him for 2 hours, then released him with a warning about making false threats. He even stood outside the airport this morning, shouting warnings at passengers. Security escorted him away. Nobody believed the desperate man with wild eyes and wilder claims. Nobody ever believes until it is too late. Asterisk, now he stands at gate 17 with a choice. Board the flight and hope somehow his presence changes what he knows is coming. Or run, disappear. Save himself and let 136 other people fly toward their deaths. The thought makes him sick. These people around him have no idea. The woman in the blue dress checking her phone. The old man reading a paperback novel. The teenage girl listening to music through bright pink headphones. All of them walking casually toward oblivion. All of them trusting that the massive machine of modern aviation will deliver them safely to Denver. None of them knowing that in 6 hours their families will be gathered around television screens. watching rescue helicopters search for survivors that do not exist. Asterisk Gate Agent Sarah. Chen begins the boarding announcement. Her voice carries the practiced cheerfulness of someone who makes this speech 5 times daily. First class and premium passengers, please approach the gate. Marcus watches them line up, eager, unsuspecting. His hand moves to the envelope. Maybe if he shows them. Maybe if he just pulls out those pages and forces them to look. Forces them to see tomorrow's news today. But he knows what will happen. They will think he is insane. Security will drag him away again. The flight will board without him. And 137 people will still die. Only this time he will not be there. This time he will have to live with knowing he abandoned them. Asterisk, the boarding line grows. Business class now. Then the main cabin. Marcus's group is called Zone 3. He stands, but his legs feel distant, disconnected, like they belong to someone else. Someone braver. Someone who knows what to do with impossible information and unbearable responsibility. The envelope crinkles as he moves. That sound. Paper against fabric. It reminds him this is real. Not a dream. Not a breakdown. Real newspaper pages describing real deaths that have not happened yet, but will. Unless something changes. Unless somehow he changes it. Asterisk, he reaches the gate agent. Hands her his boarding pass. She scans it with a smile that does not reach her eyes. Thank you, Mr. Greene. Enjoy your flight. The jetway stretches ahead like a throat, swallowing passengers one by one. Marcus enters. Each step feels heavier. The plane waits at the end. Silver and white and massive. Beautiful in the way dangerous things often are. Flight attendant Jennifer Park greets him at the aircraft door. Welcome aboard. Seat 12A is on your left. He nods. Moves down the narrow aisle. Finds his window seat. Sits. Buckles himself in. Watches more passengers file past. Each one a name that will appear in tomorrow's obituaries. Each one someone's daughter or father or friend. Each one about to become a statistic. Asterisk, the man in 12B arrives. Tall, nervous flyer by the look of him. White knuckles already gripping the armrests before the plane even moves. Marcus almost laughs. Almost tells him not to worry about takeoff. Takeoff is fine. Landing is the problem. Or rather, the not landing. The slamming into a mountain at 400 miles per hour. The fireball that will consume them all. But he says nothing. Just stares out the window at the tarmac workers loading luggage. Somewhere in those cargo holds sits a suitcase that will survive the crash. That detail was in the paper too. One intact black suitcase recovered 3 days after impact. Everything else destroyed. But that one bag will remain perfect, untouched. Like the universe wants to mock them. Wants to prove it could have saved more if it wanted to. The cabin door closes with a heavy thunk. That sound of finality. No turning back now. The captain's voice crackles over the intercom. Good morning, folks. This is Captain Rodriguez. Beautiful day for flying. We will be cruising at 35,000 feet with clear skies all the way to Denver. Should have you on the ground right on schedule at 3:35 Mountain Time. Marcus checks the newspaper one more time. Impact listed at 3:22 p.m., 13 minutes before scheduled landing. The plane was descending. Almost there, almost safe. Then something happens. The paper does not say what. Mechanical failure. pilot error, an act of God that is really just physics and bad luck. Whatever the cause, the result is the same. 137 dead. The engines roar to life. That deep rumbling that vibrates through the entire aircraft. The plane begins rolling backward, away from the gate, toward the runway, toward whatever fate has written in those impossible pages. Marcus pulls the envelope out, places it on his lap. The man in 12B glances over. "You okay, man? You look like you were about to be sick." Marcus wants to laugh, wants to scream, wants to grab this stranger and shake him and demand they both run. But the emergency exits are sealed. The plane is moving. There is no escape now, so instead he just nods. "Fine, just nervous." The man seems satisfied with that answer, goes back to his own anxiety, his own ignorant fear of something that will not kill him because something much worse is coming. They taxi for 7 minutes. Marcus counts every second. The plane turns onto the runway, stops, waits. The engines grow louder, building power, building speed, then they release. The aircraft lurches forward, acceleration pressing everyone back into their seats. Faster, faster, the ground blurring past the window. Then that moment, that impossible moment when tons of metal and fuel and human lives lift off the earth and climb into empty air. They are flying now. No going back. Whatever happens next is written, set, unavoidable. Marcus watches the airport shrink below, watches his last chance at survival disappear. Beneath clouds and distance, the flight attendants begin their safety demonstration. Marcus watches them point to exits that will not save anyone, watches them demonstrate oxygen masks that will deploy too late, watches them smile and gesture like this is all routine, like today is just another day of ferrying passengers across the sky. They have no idea. Nobody does except him. The man with tomorrow's newspaper. The man who knows. The flight levels off. The seatbelt sign chimes off. People relax. Pull out books and tablets. The woman in 12C across the aisle opens her laptop, starts working on a presentation she will never finish. The universe is cruel that way. Lets people plan for futures that do not exist. Lets them worry about meetings and deadlines that will not matter in a few hours. Marcus unfolds the newspaper, spreads it across his tray table, studies every detail again, looking for something, anything, some clue about what causes the crash, some detail that might let him prevent it. But the article is frustratingly vague. Flight 743 departed on time from Gate 17. Radio contact was lost at approximately 3:20 p.m. Wreckage was discovered by search and rescue teams the following morning. Investigation is ongoing. That is it. No explanation. No smoking gun. Just the cold facts of disaster without the why behind it. The paper shows the aftermath, but not the cause. Knows the destination, but not the road. An hour passes. Then too, the flight continues normally. To normally. Marcus keeps waiting for something to go wrong. An alarm, a warning light. The captain's voice urgently requesting everyone return to their seats. But nothing happens. The plane flies smooth and steady. Passengers doze or chat or stare at screens. Ordinary people on an ordinary flight having no idea they are all living their last hours. Marcus tries to find patterns in the newspaper photo, tries to decode the wreckage for clues, but it is just twisted metal, just destruction, The debris field tells him nothing about prevention, only confirms what he already knows. This plane is going to fall from the sky. 3 hours in, a flight attendant passes by with drinks. Coffee, juice. Marcus shakes his head. His mouth is too dry. His stomach too twisted. The man in 12B orders something. Makes small talk about the weather. Says he is heading to Denver for his daughter's wedding. Shows the flight attendant a photo on his phone. Pretty girl in a white dress. Groom beside her, grinning with joy. The wedding is Saturday, 3 days from now, but this man will not be there, will not walk his daughter down the aisle, will not give the father of the bride speech he has probably been rehearsing for months. Instead, his daughter will be planning his funeral, choosing between closed casket or identification by dental records. Marcus looks away, cannot bear to see that photo, that evidence of a future stolen, a life interrupted mid-sentence. For hours, they are over Colorado now. The Rockies stretch below like jagged teeth, beautiful and deadly, perfect peaks of stone and snow. Somewhere down there is the mountain they are going to hit. Marcus presses his face to the window, searching like he might somehow spot it, like recognizing the instrument of their death might change something. But all the mountains look the same from up here, all equally capable of destroying a falling aircraft, all waiting patiently for gravity to deliver its next victim. The plane begins its descent, that gentle tilt downward, that subtle change in engine pitch. They are starting the approach to Denver, starting the final act of this tragedy. 3:20 p.m., 2 minutes until impact, according to the paper. But everything still seems fine, normal. The captain has not said anything unusual. No turbulence, no alarms. Marcus grips his armrests, knuckles white, heart hammering. This is it. Whatever happens, happens now. The man in 12B notices his panic. Hey buddy, you really do not look good. You want me to call someone? Marcus cannot answer, cannot speak. Every muscle tensed, waiting for the moment, for the drop, for the scream of tearing metal and rushing air. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15. He closes his eyes. Counts down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nothing happens. The plane keeps flying, smooth, steady, unchanged. Marcus opens his eyes, checks his watch. 3:21. The moment has passed. The crash time came and went, and they are still alive, still flying. He pulls out the newspaper with shaking hands, checks the time again. Impact at 3:22 p.m. Mountain Time. His watch shows 3:22 now. Still nothing. 3:23. 3:20. The plane continues its descent toward Denver. The mountains pass below untouched. No impact, no crash, no fireball of destruction. They are going to make it. Somehow they are going to make it. The future has changed. Or maybe it was never set. Maybe the newspaper was wrong. Maybe Marcus's presence here somehow altered the timeline, prevented the catastrophe, saved 137 lives, including his own. Relief floods through him, pure, overwhelming. He wants to laugh, wants to cry, wants to tell everyone around him how close they came to death, how the universe had them scheduled for termination, but something intervened. Something changed the script. Maybe it was him. Maybe boarding this flight, despite knowing what was supposed to happen, somehow broke the pattern. somehow rewrote fate. Or maybe the newspaper was always just a warning, a chance to intervene, a test of whether he would run or stay, whether he would save himself or risk everything to be here, to be present at the moment when destiny could be defied. And he stayed. And now they are all going to live. The captain's voice returns to the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are beginning our final descent into Denver International Airport. Should have you on the ground in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Marcus can see the airport now. That massive structure rising from the plains. They are almost there, almost safe. The landing gear deploys with a mechanical groan. The plane banking gently, lining up with the runway. Everything proceeding exactly as it should. Marcus finally allows himself to relax. His grip on the armrests loosens. His breathing slows. The nightmare is over. The impossible future has been avoided. Whatever power sent him that newspaper has been satisfied. He prevented the crash just by being here, just by believing it was possible to change what seemed inevitable. The wheels touched down, that gentle bump of contact, then the engine's reverse thrust, that roar of braking, the plane slowing, rolling down the runway toward the terminal. They made it. Everyone made it. The aircraft pulls up to gate 23. The seatbelt sign chimes off. Passengers immediately stand, grabbing bags from overhead bins, eager to exit, to continue their lives. Completely unaware of the disaster that did not happen. Marcus stays seated, watches them file past. The woman in the blue dress, the old man with his paperback, the teenage girl with pink headphones, all of them alive, all of them saved. The man from 12B pauses, looks at Marcus with concern. You sure you are all right? You looked pretty rough up there. Marcus smiles, really smiles. For the first time in 3 days. Yeah, I am good now. Really good. The man nods, takes his bag, disappears into the crowd. Marcus waits until the cabin empties, then gathers his things. The leather bag, the manila envelope with its impossible predictions that did not come true. He steps into the terminal. The Denver airport stretches vast and busy around him. People rushing everywhere, meeting loved ones, catching connections, living their ordinary, extraordinary lives. Marcus walks slowly, still processing, still trying to understand what happened, how he changed the future, or if the future was ever really set at all. Maybe time is more flexible than people think. Maybe every moment contains infinite possibilities and the newspaper only showed one path, one potential outcome. And his choice to stay, to be present, to refuse to abandon those people, somehow collapsed the probability wave into a different result, a better result. Everyone alive, everyone safe. He finds a quiet corner near a window, sits, opens the envelope one last time. The newspaper pages are still there, still dated today. But as he looks at the headline, something impossible happens. The letters begin to fade. Right before his eyes, the ink lightens, grows transparent, until the page is completely blank, pure white, like nothing was ever written there. The photos disappear. The articles vanish. Every word erased, as if the future that newspaper described has been completely unmade, removed from reality. Marcus stares at the empty pages. Then slowly he smiles, stands, walks to a nearby trash can, drops the envelope inside. Whatever happened, whatever strange force sent him that warning, the job is done. The disaster is prevented. The timeline is corrected. 137 people are going home tonight. 137 families will not receive devastating phone calls. One man in Denver will walk his daughter down the aisle this Saturday. All because Marcus Greene chose to believe that fate could be defied, that the future is not fixed, that one person knowing the truth can change everything. He pulls out his phone, calls his boss. Peterson meeting will have to wait. He is taking a personal day, maybe a personal week. After what he just experienced, he needs time, needs space, needs to process the fact that he apparently lives in a universe where tomorrow's newspaper can arrive today, where knowing the future is possible, where one man's choice can save everyone. He books a hotel room, finds a restaurant, orders food that tastes better than anything he has eaten in years, because he is alive, because they are all alive, because the crash that was supposed to kill them never happened. Marcus Greene sits in that Denver restaurant and watches the sun set through the window and feels grateful in a way most people never experience. Grateful for a disaster avoided, for a future rewritten, for the knowledge that sometimes, just sometimes, the universe gives you a chance to be a hero, and all you have to do is show up. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this.